have what's the new one that came out? Yeah, what was the new one?
Ciroc, vodka, and
no, the other one. Who is real smooth? New Amsterdam. New Amsterdam came out, and it was so.
And Grey Goose. Grey Goose was out at that time too.
See, I didn't drink. I told you 151. That was my.
Yeah, Grey Goose vodka was one of the ones because I loved the bottle.
You can light it on fire.
The bottle was hot. It was that shaded, that shaved glass.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I was sitting on the floor, and we was talking about something. I don't even remember what we were talking about. All I know is I was bust out laughing. I got ching, ling, 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 glass everywhere. I wouldn't cut it all, though. I had to go.
Because you had your body.
Actually, I didn't. I didn't have any hair back then.
Oh.
I don't remember. I don't think I did.
And you ain't cut your hair?
Nope. I was just fine. I was like, oh, your glass broke, and it was winter, dead of winter.
Check more of these funny moments out when you tune into BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Salacious Life with Dr. Wren. It is our weekly Hump Day discourse, and I've got a special guest in the room with me tonight. I got my boy Ing from Man Ray Records.
What's up? What's up?
And he has no clue what tonight's topic is.
No, not at all.
So let's see how much he squirms. He said that his balls were big enough to be on Salacious Life Radio.
So it's like a challenge.
It's a challenge. So let's see how you feel. But before we go into the topic, I did want to take a moment to thank everybody who came out and joined the conclave for Rose and Repete on Saturday.
I was there. It was really fun.
It was a great show. I mean, Salacious doesn't go far enough to describe Rose and Repete. It was there was so much talent in the room. Like, we had Matthew with his erotic poetry. We had AJ really with her, like, what's the word I'm looking for? It was, I can't think of the right word. Seductive.
For his poetry?
Dance performance. No, the dance performance.
The
dancer, AJ.
He was very informative.
It was very informative. It was a lesson because we were talking about the 3 stages of sex, and she was giving us a demonstration of foreplay, and it was very informative. It was great. I'm trying to think. Then we had Wawa with their, orgasmic hip hop performance to close it all out. Like, it was a great time. We had a lot of wonderful discourse. We talked about a lot of things, and we found out a lot of things about each other that we wouldn't have known. But I think people left rather inspired, if not enlightened.
Yeah.
At the end of the night, if you didn't go home and get some, shame on you, because you had all the tools you needed when you left that room.
That itself was like one giant foreplay.
It was like the show was one giant foreplay.
There should be like a couples package to it or something.
Yeah, maybe in the future when we do conclave again, when everybody gathers for conclave.
Conclave couples retreat.
Couples retreat. That would be fun. The couples retreat. Who's game?
I just feel like if I had a girl, I would have brought her to that, and then afterwards, I'm like, so what do you want to do after that? Right. Well, there's only one thing on my mind after such a conversation.
Oh man, yeah, it was definitely fun times. Oh man. So I did want to, just send a quick shout out to Matthew Lord. Thank you for your poetry. And
is any of his stuff online, or is it all just live?
It's all just live. So if you miss it, you've just got to make the next one.
I'm kind of upset I didn't record it because I was just too in the moment with it.
Everybody was like there was some recordings, like I think Alexis recorded parts of it when she wasn't performing, and I think Sully recorded parts of it, but yeah, a lot of it was just
if you're listening, you need to record that. I will record it. Come in, I will record it. I need to preserve that. There's something to
I
that.
mean, Chianti in Conversations was one thing when we talked about the 5 F's to give. And that was like, whoa. And then I just took the tail end of that because we went from fucking to the 3 stages of sex, because people have lost the ability to really be an artist in the bedroom, you know. And I think sex should be fun. It's the only activity out there that you can use all 5 senses at the same time, you know. I mean, it's a great thing. So I hope that people, you know, everyone who came out, I want to thank you, and I hope you all enjoyed Rose and Repute, and I'll look forward to seeing you all at the next conclave event when we all get together and we discuss whatever salacious topic is on my mind that day. It only gets bigger from here.
Oh my.
Now, let's get into the topic of tonight. So,
oh no.
Tonight, we are talking about taboo sex acts.
Define taboo.
Taboo. So, I'm going to say socially, maybe even personally frowned upon.
Okay.
If that makes any
Yeah.
sense. Like, you know, there's not many things that are taboo to me, but, you know, my motto, love life, be brave, live unapologetically.
I actually used that in conversation today because I was talking to this person. They're like, you're very open. That's been a thing of mine lately, is just being like kind of more like Charlemagne.
Yeah.
And just kind of telling it how it is and not having to hide those feelings. And I used that today because someone called me out on it. And I was just like, live unapologetically. And then I was just like, oh, snap. Ren's rubbing off on me.
Ren's rubbing off on you because I believe it. I don't just say it. I believe it. I think people should definitely live without fear of judgment. They should be brave enough to do the things that make them happy. My grandmother used to tell me, a loose translation would be happy yourself. Like, you're in charge of your own happiness.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to tell people all the time, like, just live unapologetically. Love your life. You know, don't do things that make you feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely do the things that make you feel good.
It's too short for that.
Like, people miss out. Like, I definitely love my life.
You're gonna write a memoir later in life?
Huh?
You're gonna write a memoir?
I should. You know, have me some a nice glass of vodka and sit down and write a memoir.
That'll be the end product of Salacious Life.
Salacious Life, like
the memoir.
Salacious Life, the memoir. How many of y'all would read my book, A Salacious Life? Anyway, we are live, so if you want to call in, if you have any questions as we get into the topic tonight.
Is there a link that I can share?
There is a link. Hold on, I'll share it with you.
Yeah.
And then
let me give that a share.
With everyone else.
Oh, I think I got it. Well, I got a notification I was tagged in a post.
Oh, well, I just sent it to you.
Dope.
And we are live, so if anybody wants to call in, the number is 410-702-5657. Again, that's 410-702-5657. Now, I took a poll this weekend.
Yeah.
Of basically just about everybody I'm in normal conversation with, as far as Salacious Life.
Mm-hmm.
And we gathered the top, I don't know, this might be 14 or 15 taboo sex acts.
Ooh.
And I want to know, now some of these I may pronounce wrong. Because
we're getting some foreign things in here.
No, there's just real names for things that I didn't realize had real names to them. You know.
Snap.
So I want to know your thoughts on it, and not just from, like, I mean, you are a man, so of course I want your male point of view.
Yeah.
But not just your male point of view. I would love to hear just your point of view in general. What do you think your interaction with women have been over these issues, with other men in conversation or whatever over these issues? Move the mic. So you can see my face.
You gotta,
is that better, Darian? You can see my face.
Give the people what they want.
Give them what they want. Okay, I moved the mic. All right, so we're going to start with taboo sex act number 1.
Ooh. Drum roll.
I'm going to pronounce this wrong.
Oh.
Analingus?
Oh, I know that. That's when you use oral in the butt.
Yep, eating ass.
Not something that I have participated in. I have met people that were really into that. I had a manager when I worked at a job when I was just out of high school, and he swore by it. He was just saying that apparently it's like, like once you go black, you never go back. Once you do that, you never. I'm just like, I
don't know. So, my thoughts are twofold because there is Samuel says only after the shower. So my thoughts are twofold.
That's probably what I'm on too. I would never really do it, but if she really pushed, I would be like, you have to deep clean.
Deep clean, right? I mean, what's it called?
Enema, yeah. Enema. Deep clean, deep shower, enema.
Take a bath. A bath is the best solution. Take a bath, a little bit of baking soda, you'll detox, and you'll make yourself to be this fabulous platter for him to enjoy. Go ahead and
but also on the flip side,
yourself.
On the flip side, you were talking about a guy doing it to a girl, but we should also talk about the flip side.
Flip side, because a lot of guys would like to have this performed on them a lot more than you think.
Oh.
Like, I was blown away at just over the week, conversing with people, even at Roseanne Repartee, just conversing with people about eating ass or, things like that. And
we had a big conversation. It's probably on the list later, but double penetration, we had a big conversation.
We did have a big penetration.
Is that on the list? Because I can save that for when we
it's not on the list, but we can add it to the list.
That should be on the list.
That should be on the list, double penetration.
Also, shout out to Jay Sully, who just tuned in and is listening to us talk about these salacious acts.
There we go. I wrote that down. It is now on the list.
Good.
But but this whole eating ass thing, so apparently because the prostate is very close to the outside, a woman can perform this act on a guy and stimulate his prostate and apparently cause a much more explosive
That's
orgasm.
what I've heard a lot of people talk about, and that's why I knew a guy in college who was more just a mutual friend, not exactly a good friend, but he talked about how he enjoyed being fucked in the ass by his girlfriend, but he was like, I'm not.
That's on the list.
But he's like, okay, well, but he mentioned how that he's like, I'm not gay, but I like that. And
yeah.
People shouldn't equate that to that.
And I agree. I think a lot of fear of homosexuality tends to make us less creative in the bedroom. When it comes to sex, I feel like you should really be going more on what feels good, not what sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Because
there's no place for thinking in the bedroom.
There's no place for thinking.
The only brain that should be working is your penis.
Who can say it better than that? The only brain that should be working is your penis in the bedroom.
Amen.
No, I'm definitely with it. But yeah, there's a flip side to it. A lot of guys, a lot of women will request getting her ass eaten out prior to anal sex.
A lot of people also talk about it in music, eat the booty like groceries.
Right. It's becoming more. It's becoming less taboo. I remember when I came out as a bisexual woman many, many, many years ago, and it was a big deal. I lost friends over it. My mom was all mad at me. It was a big deal, and now it's the thing to do. I think eating ass is also starting to be that thing. But yes, it should be clean and prepped and prepared whether you're a man or a woman.
Yeah. And that's just part of it. You know, you got to be prepared on all fields that should be played on.
Okay, Kate said something to you. That might be something you would respond to.
I can't see any posts.
You can't see it? Really? It's not pulling?
Let me see it on your phone.
Yeah. Because I don't know Kate, so I'm assuming she's talking to you.
Oh, I have her blocked on social media, so that's why I can't see it.
Well, Kate, you're blocked. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
You've done something wrong.
That's a conversation of its own. Like, I'm not one to talk about it on live TV.
No, absolutely not. And we're not going to. We were talking about eating ass.
Yeah.
But on that note, we are going to take a break and we'll be right back with Salacious Live.
Ladies, are you in need of the best quality hair extensions, a cute outfit, or that perfect pair of shades? Pink Ice products can cover you from head to toe, from flawless weaves to apparel. Visit us online at pinkiceproducts.bigcartel.com. We're located at 3000 Old Alabama Road, 119-303, Alpharetta, Georgia. Or give us a call at 470-488-6484. Come on in and check out Pink Ice products today.
Check out this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live on BeExposedRadio.com. In the building, we have live Mr. Michael Ryder. There we go. And Mr. Steve Yarn. They're doing a partnership based on what was it again? The stories of the Vulcan Blazers. An awesome production that they have coming up. And now the name of it will be called Baltimore Heat. There we go. They were telling us a little bit about, they're in the pre-production phase of developing this Baltimore-based production. It seems like a really awesome idea. I always love for more artistic events to come here, and because it's more of an event because you guys are going to actually use Baltimore as your complete backdrop of the city, and that's very awesome to hear.
Yeah, we want people to fall in love with this project through the visions and the tales we're going to tell about these firefighters, but also we want them to fall in love with the city of Baltimore. Just like they did with Miami Vice and Chicago Fire and NYPD Blue and
Sex in the City,
and all these other places that have the city as a star as much as the artists and the actors are.
And that's Baltimore has for many years have been the backdrops of many movies. I could think of a few Whoopi Goldberg movies, Sleepless in Seattle. A lot of these movies that have always used Baltimore as a scene. Not to mention The Wire and Homicide and countless other movies, House of Cards. All these movies and television shows that have always used it, but it was never really about Baltimore. They always included Baltimore in the story or the backdrops or certain historical scenery,
things they absolutely needed to say.
But House of Cards actually shoots in Baltimore. But they're saying that it's Washington D.C. So they're shooting here and not even giving us credit for the place we're here.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com.
Check out what you missed on Be Exposed Radio.
Listen to Elizabeth Warren talking about Black lives and Black life.
Police are not occupying armies. This is America, not a war zone. I speak today with full knowledge that I have not personally experienced and can never truly understand the fear, the oppression, and the pain that confronts African Americans every day.
Don't you just want to kill yourself? I mean, not from what she was saying, but from the music that was playing in the background. I just want to, gosh, but every word she said was prolific, and it did not come from what is now becoming mainstream is white privilege. She has a sensibility about her, and the way she speaks about different things that has, from the first time I saw her, I can't remember what state she's in. I think she's in like North Carolina or something like that, somewhere I'm not going. That some kind of sensibility about her that makes me like her for president. But she's not running. We have this old guy that looks like he should be on the popcorn box. Then we have Martin O'Malley. Fine. We'll settle if we must. Hillary, who I like, but she just has to fight against all this controversy, and that's the hard part of it all. Then we have Huckabee. I could have swore he died, like in one of those books, like a fairy tale book. Trump, we'll get to you in a moment. Meet with all these black folk in one room, and they just fell for it. Like, he must have been giving out $100 bills behind them.
Check out the Talk Lately show every Tuesday nights from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
We're back with Salacious Life with Dr. Wren, with my special guest, Ing, who has a petty Betty, who is listening to the show tonight.
Hi.
And we are talking taboo sex acts. We just finished talking about eating ass, so I figured what better way to go ahead and move into anal sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I'm with it. I think it's a good idea. I know that not all guys are with it. We talked about it at Rose. Remember, there was like 2 or 3 guys in the room were just like, I won't do it. I'm not saying.
They said that it wasn't that they wouldn't do it. They weren't about double penetration is what the conversation was. Because there was only like a tiny bit of skin that was separating them.
Yeah, and I get it, you know, because, and I've had this conversation every single day since Rose. We've been talking about double penetration. That was a big topic of that night. It was a big topic. Like, that's another very taboo sex act is double penetration. Now, I'm not with the sword fighting. So if I'm going to have, like, most of my relationships are poly relationships, but they've never been with 2 men. I'm not interested in 2 guys. 1 guy, 1 sword. We're good. I can have 12 women.
Oh, I was about to say, is it like 1 slot for each side? Or?
No, I can have 12 women, 1 guy. You know, so I'm not personally for double penetration. However, there were people in that room that were voicing the opposite opinion, that they were really for double penetration. What are your thoughts on double penetration?
It looks very complicated to maneuver.
It does.
That's definitely like you need to be an engineer, and you have to kind of you need a director on the side saying, "Okay, you move."
Right. Like, I feel like that's definitely some porno shit. Like, you definitely need to have somebody showing and directing you. Like, I don't think you could just throw that together. Like, hey, we're all in here.
That's not something you accidentally do. Like, before you were talking about eating ass, you can accidentally.
Yeah, because there is only that little bit of difference.
You can't just accidentally. Oh, there's kind of 2.
Yeah, you can't accidentally have 2 dicks in you. Like, you can't accidentally insert yourself where there is another dick already. Like, there's certain things you just can't do.
Oops. Sorry, baby, I didn't mean to.
I didn't mean to. My bad. No, I don't think you could accidentally do double penetration. I actually went back and watched a few pornos after Rose, just so I could really try to get an idea of double penetration and how complicated it really looked. I have a caller. Hi, who's on the line?
Hello.
Hello. With whom am I speaking?
Hello.
Hello. Well, I can't hear you, so call me back when you can.
This is Charlene.
Oh, I just
So
said,
I'm
who am I
calling
speaking with?
Because, okay.
Turn down your phone.
I can't really hear you guys either, so I mean, something is going wrong. I might have to call you back.
Okay. Well, call me back, Charlene. You're always
Oh, no,
welcome.
I hear you now. Okay, I hear you now. Okay, we cool. Okay.
Turn your phone down. Or
All right, wait a minute.
turn the stream down.
Maybe I had to turn. Okay. Hello? You hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And
what's your question or comment?
I was calling because I wanted to know about your, when you said something about the double penetration. So I wanted to know, when were you saying, you said you didn't like the two swords, okay, but if you're doing it with a female and a sword, isn't it the same thing?
No, I mean, I only like one penis in the room. So if I'm, I guess, in a situation where there's a man and a woman, she's not strapping on.
Okay, so I mean, because the penetration is still the same. If she was to,
yeah, if she was to strap on, and yeah, so that would still be double penetration. But I only need one dick. Like, the only time that, strap-ons are appropriate to me is when there are several women in a room with no man. It's one or the other.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. That's all I was wondering. I was like, let me call in and ask this question. Because I was just thinking it was just like sort of the same thing, with the...
And I would think so.
Maybe because if he penetrated, if she rubbed or whatever while he's doing whatever, it's the same thing.
Well, and the other thing was this. And I wonder if people would feel like this was very taboo. So one of the porns that I watched showed a woman fucking herself with a dildo, and he was in her back door, which was still considered double penetration.
Right.
And I wonder if the men, because the big backlash I got at Rose was the guys were like, there's not enough space. So, you want to, like, how would you feel about that? Would you still feel as awkward?
You mean if she had a dildo and then... Well, that is actually something I have done. I didn't know if that was considered double penetration.
Oh, well, see?
They really enjoy it, or at least...
Yeah.
And that's a way, I guess, to break into it, to find out if she enjoys it before you bring someone else into the mix.
Yeah.
That's kind of a pregame. That's the foreplay for it.
Yeah.
Or the other way around, you can, put a plug in the butt.
In the plug. Right. Now, I've had sex with a plug before.
Oh, okay.
So
you don't want to just slip in from one hole to the next. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. No, you plug it. Plug a hole. Look, you get one hole, nigga. No.
Right. Okay, that was my only question. I don't want to hold your line up. I was just calling.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm watching, and it's interesting. So, that was my question.
Yeah,
but
hang in there.
y'all have a good night.
Feel free to call back if you have any other questions. We're gonna take a break. We'll be right back with Salacious Life.
Man, it is what it is. Man, it is what it is. Well, it is what it is.
This fly T Miles, also known as Tyree Miles, and Mr. Miles the writer.
Hip Hop K, check us out every Friday on Be Exposed Radio at 9/11.
Coming to y'all soon.
Check out this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
So we're going to get a little bit into the album with Miss Amira and learn the basis of it, the Banji soul of it all.
Yes.
So let us know, first of all, what is Banji soul?
Banji soul is basically just real. It's real soul. It's real. It's not cut down. It's not watered down. It's, how as hot as it came off of my mind and my heart. That's what it is. And a lot of the times I get a little tangy, banji, ratchet, whatever, however you like to put it, classify it. But I like to say banji, because I'm classy.
Banji is a little classier.
It's a little classier. That's got your pinky up.
Right.
You got your pinky up with that.
Okay, we got to keep the B's, the bougie, the banji.
Yeah.
Right.
So she's created her own lane, Banji soul. So let us know how that is covered in the album that released on the 9th of this month, right?
Yes. Well, I did it to a number of industry tracks, including like the Beatles Come Together, and I did a Lindsay Lohan joint. You remember the Confessions of a Broken Heart?
Okay.
And a lot of stuff I aimed to like change the theme that was originated, or just to. It was my therapy.
Okay.
It was my therapy.
So that's why this is a mixtape.
Yes.
Okay, because you did a lot of remakes. Okay, I got you. The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey everybody, check out what you missed on the one and only Be Inspired Radio Show.
Focus on the word take for a moment.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I mean, when I begin to just, think about take, when you taking something. Yes, we think about, the possession and grab and hold, but when you taking something on, you're capturing it, you're securing it, and you become impregnated with that.
Wow.
Tune in to Be Inspired every Wednesday live at 7 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
And we're back. We are here with Ing from Anna Ray Records, and we are talking taboo sex acts tonight on Hump Day Discourse. We just finished talking about anal sex and double penetration, and I wanted to lead right into pegging. So, for you guys who don't know what pegging is anal intercourse with a strap-on, typically to a male, if that makes any sense. So, a woman will strap on and have sex with her male partner. So, pegging. And this is when Dr. Wren becomes a square, and I know you guys don't expect it, but look, men, to me, that's just a little bit on the feminine side. Like, I've done a lot of things, from milking a prostate, we'll go into that, to eating ass, we've just gone into that. But pegging is just, it's not my thing. What are your thoughts on pegging?
To each their own. It's not something I will do. I do not see in the foreseeable future myself ever doing that.
Yeah.
But everyone has their thing, and if that's what gets your rocks off, if that's what floats your boat.
No, and I don't discriminate. That's what I'm saying. I think people should do and explore whatever sexual acts.
I've done it before.
You've done it before. Wait, Nikki says she's done it before. And what were your thoughts on it, Nikki?
I was weirded out afterwards. Afterwards I was weirded out like that. He actually went through with it. So it was kind of...
Was it just a one-time thing, or did you
it was a one-time thing. It was a fantasy for me. It was something that I wanted to do, but then as I actually did it, I was like...
yeah.
I was weirded out about it. I was like, I don't think I want to do it again.
You want to do it again? That's been tainted for you?
Well, I know I won't do it in my relationship now.
Right.
I always say, try something at least twice.
Right.
That's true. That's very true.
I'll try it again.
Right. No, absolutely. So I actually had a guy that I was seeing request it from me. I think I might not have been as reluctant had it been like Nikki, had it been a fantasy of my own, having that dominance over a man or something like that. I'm not a dominatrix, even though I do, participate in most BDSM. I'm not a dominatrix. But the fact that he asked me, and I mean, he asked me, he asked me over and over and over again.
Did he propose? Did he get on one knee and be like, will you please do this thing?
Would you please put this dick in my ass? I just wasn't ready. I was like, he was like, it's the same as you sleeping with a woman. I'm like, no, it's not.
I mean, biologically, yes, but it's maybe biologically, yes.
Maybe.
But there's different roles, like you said, when you're with a man, you expect to be with a man and him to act like a man. So, and then when you're with a woman, you expect her to
act like a woman.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So, I don't know, guys. I mean, Steven says he came in at the wrong time. So
Steven, he came in at the right time.
Right time, because we're talking about taboo sex acts. Not that everybody should be for them or against them. We're just getting them out there.
I think a lot of people who I shared this link with probably thought I was talking some sort of music thing. So I should give a disclaimer that I'm not here to talk about music.
No.
I'm here to talk about things that you haven't even thought of.
Right. Because Ing has been to both Chianti Conversations and
I should get
Rose
a passport.
and Repete.
I want to get a passport of all the conclaves I've been to.
Right? I'm going to start giving out passports. People can get stamps.
I've got a tour. I'm
because
a veteran.
He knows. And every time his eyes get bigger and brighter.
I'm going to make it a point to come to every one. I made sure of that for the second one. I was like, I had sessions call in. They're like, "Oh, we want to record," and I'm like, "Nope."
I was like, I'm not.
I have to go talk about this.
It's important to talk, and I think it's important that we come together as the conclave and have these intimate, no holds barred conversations about things that maybe previously has been very taboo, or things that have been lost in time, because I really feel like music influences the way we interact and how we go about things. Like, it used to be, oh, make love to her, run a bath for her, let me make her feel good. Now it's like, I shouldn't have to fuck for free. Like, things have changed.
Yeah. Do you have, like, on a side note, do you have, like, a sex playlist? I know you play it at the conclave, but do you have, like, one? You should put one on Spotify.
I can do that. So my sex playlist is called Deep Throat Saturday. My sex playlist would play without repeating for 3.5 days.
That's a fun weekend.
It's a fun weekend. And I play it, and the music's always...
I'm saying, do you have Spotify?
I do have Spotify.
Well, you know how you can make public playlists.
Yeah.
And people can subscribe to those playlists. You should make a playlist for Deep Throat Saturday.
For Deep Throat Saturday. Would you guys want me to make a playlist for Deep Throat Saturday?
And then just, have people play it and be like, yo, I just made love to the Deep Throat Saturday playlist.
Yeah, because it's a great one. You can put it on random. It doesn't have to be in any particular order, right? Really put it on shuffle and let it ride. It's a great playlist. It'll take you all the way through all 3 stages of sex.
I feel like everyone has a sex playlist on their phone somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. But I think that people, like, I took time. Like, I've been curating that playlist for 10 years.
The people need to hear it. The people need to know.
They need to know. I have literally been curating that playlist forever. Charlene says of course she would listen to Deep Throat Saturday. Absolutely.
Make that a hashtag and let it spread.
Yeah, Deep Throat Saturday.
Deep Throat Saturday.
It was nice to have Roseanne Repete on Saturday.
Yeah, exactly.
For it to be Deep Throat Saturday. I was like, guys, it's a holiday. Let's celebrate. We are going to get extra salacious tonight. I should have asked the audience, because there were a lot of new faces at the conclave. I should have asked the audience, like, do you really know what Salacious is? Because a lot of people don't know what Salacious is. So for all my listeners, I'm not going to tell you what it is. Go look it up, and then you'll understand what Salacious Life with Dr. Wren is.
The context clues from listening to the show.
Right. You haven't figured it out.
Use those 3rd grade thinking skills.
But it's a beautiful word. It rolls off the tongue.
It's like promiscuous. Like,
right.
When that song came out with Nelly Furtado, I was like, what does this word promiscuous mean?
Promiscuous. I like promiscuous. I like the idea of it. I've never been promiscuous, but I always liked the idea of it. I always thought, I kept thinking, in between husbands or something, I might just go through like a 4-month period of being promiscuous, but, I've always been like a one-dick chick. So it doesn't really play in my favor to be promiscuous, because it doesn't work out for me.
Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, right. Everybody got their thing.
Exactly.
So, since we were talking about pegging, I thought we might go into I got a few ones that kind of roll with that. So there's tromboning.
Ooh.
So
the rusty trombone.
The rusty trombone. So how many of you guys know what the rusty...
We're tying in music now.
We're talking music now, the rusty trombone.
I guess that ties in with eating ass.
It is, because...
There's just an extra thing going on.
There's an extra thing going on, because the rusty trombone, for those who don't know, is eating a man's ass while you jerk him off. So think of the action of a trombone. That's what that is, the rusty trombone. Ladies, look.
Is there a variation for ladies?
I don't think there is a variation for ladies.
It's all good.
Yeah, that's just for the guys.
It's a man thing.
It's a man thing. You know, look, if it'll get him there, you know, look, I'm willing to do whatever I need to do aside from pegging for for my partner.
Like if your man's really down for something, will you actually I'm not really down, but I will do it.
Absolutely.
Besides pegging, which we already previously.
Yeah, pegging I just can't wrap my head around. But most things, yes. Like, so I wasn't. We'll get into this next. I wasn't really into prostate stimulation, like milking the prostate. I just thought that was weird.
You're gonna have to explain that one to me, because I've heard that phrase, but I have
You've
never.
Heard that?
I've never.
We'll go into milking.
I didn't go on that Wikipedia page.
So how do you feel about the rusty trombone?
I mean, it's similar to my thoughts on the eating ass. I mean, that definitely would be a thing that spices it up more, you know, like, but you're also putting more demand on the chick, and, you know, if she's not, she would have to be more into it. This has to be a woman who's like, hey, I like playing the trombone.
Right.
You know.
Who doesn't like to play the trombone?
You can't beg your chick to eat your ass and jerk you off. And if she's not down for that, if she's not about that, because there are women out there. I've been with some women in the past who they're not really into putting that kind of work into those kinds of things, and so those people, they'll only half-heartedly do it. And I feel like that's something, if it's done half-heartedly, no one's gonna have a good time on that.
Yeah, but I feel like I think rusty trombone is something that women typically bring to the relationship. Like, they offer it. I don't think guys would ask. How many guys you know would ask a woman, hey, can you eat my ass while you jerk me off? Like, how many guys, you know... I'm sorry, my brother just said, are you guys going to talk music? Not tonight, Ray.
Sorry, there's no music being discussed here.
Yeah.
I have misled a lot of people on my friends list with that.
Right. Sorry, guys. So Charlene says she's not eating ass at all. Well, you know, I get it. And some women are against it. I'm saying that I'm open to making my partner happy and stimulated as much, you know, like, I'm a pleaser. So I'm going to do what it takes to please him, aside from pegging.
Everyone has a hard no.
There's my hard no. Like, most of this list, you know, okay. There's 2 hard no's on this list for me.
Okay.
And there's 16 things on this list. Wow. And there's 2 hard no's for me. So 14 out of 16, I'm a pretty salacious woman. Apparently.
That sounds like a BuzzFeed quiz. How
salacious are you? Maybe I should put up a you know, do one of those quizzes.
Mm-hmm.
We'll call you, like,
share with all your friends.
Yeah, outright whore, you know, all the way to granny panties, like, you know, anything in between. Like, you're a prostitute. Like, oh. Steve says he just got a look from the car next to him. He's rolling the windows up. Those people are probably the ones that need to hear about the taboo sex acts of Hump Day Discourse tonight.
Oh, man. I'm not the only person who listens to the show. I listen to the show when I drive home, because it usually is around this time when I'm driving home from the studio. So I tune in.
It's a good show to listen to, like, while you're riding, because it gets you all mentally stimulated, and you either go home and make love to yourself, which I definitely am pro. Like, you got to love yourself first. Treat yourself first, you know. Or you can go home and, I'm sorry, I keep reading these comments. But, yeah, definitely take care of yourself or take care of your partner. You know, after listening to Salacious Life, you should feel inspired to do something or someone, including yourself.
Exactly.
Even if it's just to go get a really good bite of food, because, you know, I'm all about stimulating the senses, and your sense of taste is just as important as fucking
Do you
to
know
me.
what's a sense that doesn't get stimulated enough? Your ear, like your oral sense.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Have you ever watched ASMR videos? Mm-hmm. Those are so amazing. I discovered those about a year ago. It's changed my life.
Yeah.
And especially as an audio engineer, I'm just like...
Yeah. I mean, you know, people try to say that Scorpios are addicted to sex. And I try to explain to people that Scorpios are addicted to their senses. They're gluttons to their senses. And why they seem to like sex so much is because you typically use all your senses at one time. Mm-hmm. And I tried to explain to somebody how important sound is.
Yeah, like having a partner whisper in your ear. I didn't have that happen to me until this year. No other woman until this year would do that for me.
It's amazing.
And it's just like, I feel like I just opened up a whole new world, and now I need that in my life all the time.
All the time. Like, now it's a deal breaker.
I wouldn't say it's a deal breaker, like if she doesn't like doing it, but it would definitely take things down a notch in my head. I'd be like, I need to find a person who does that.
You're not good enough because you don't whisper.
I'm that way with whispering and with massages, because in my high school girlfriend, her mother was a massage therapist, so she learned all the tricks.
So she was really good at it.
So now it's just like, if you can give me a good massage, I will definitely do some things to get a good massage.
Right. Like, we'll make this work. We'll barter in the bedroom.
I have no problem bartering.
Look, bartering in the bedroom is a good thing. It's a really good thing. I think
it's also fun if you're like, you know, have you ever like played a board game and you kind of use sex as bartering?
Yes.
If you're playing like Monopoly or something.
Yeah. Like, you don't have enough money to pay my fine, but
have you ever heard of the game Settlers of Catan?
No.
It's like one of those board games, you know. But in the game you need certain resources to do things. And this one I was playing with some friends, and his girlfriend, one of my friends, his girlfriend was also in the game, and she needed a certain resource that her boyfriend had, so they went off to a separate room.
So she could earn her resource?
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
I was just like, you do you.
Absolutely. On that note, we're going to take a break.
With hotels, and you got to pay that $2,000.
Absolutely. We'll be right back with Salacious Live.
Everybody, check out what you missed on the one and only Be Inspired radio show. So, since we're talking about the book, can you give people a synopsis of what the book is and what's the name of the book again, and then what it's about?
The name of the book is From Trial to Afflictions.
Last time on Talk Lately.
He don't have Down syndrome.
Man killed after being shot in Charm City Circulator. That's Derek. It says a 26-year-old man was killed after being shot on the Charm Circulator bus Wednesday afternoon. Police... Oh, that was last Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Okay, good. It wasn't Derek. He did that. His shooting was on Saturday. Police found the victim, who had been shot in the stomach at 2:50 p.m. at the bus on the 200 block of South Broadway and Gulf Street.
So he was on
It is over
bus.
east.
Yeah, it's the one that's coming from Johns Hopkins.
Police believe the suspect and victim argued, then got onto the bus. The bus was still stopped when the shooting occurred.
1 minute.
The suspect, wearing a black hoodie, black pants, black shoes, white soles. Matt. I know that was that mastermind down there. Okay, somebody go look for mastermind. Hello?
At that point, it's time to go for a break.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Do yourself a favor and listen to this hilarious flashback on Charm City Direct Radio Show.
You know me. I eat like this all the time. Do I gain any weight? No, at all. You can have my belly, right? I'm giving away body parts. Somebody said they need a butt. Somebody said they need a butt.
I can use a little extra tissue there.
I can pop it. Right now.
He out here giving out butt cheek donations. Hey everybody, it's your girl, the magical glow getter herself, Anissa Maureen, co-host of the Charm City Direct Radio Show. Catch me and the rest of my team every Saturday, 5 to 7 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
And we're back. Sorry, I got a message. Well, thank you everybody who has tuned in tonight. We are talking taboo sex acts. We've got Ing in the building for Hump Day Discourse.
Yo.
If you're just tuning in, you missed eating ass, anal sex, pegging, the rusty trombone, and double penetration. So we're going to continue from there. And we'll go into milking because that was something you weren't familiar with.
No, you're going to have to explain that one.
Milking. So milking is when a female, or I guess we're male, but it happens to a male because it is prostate milking.
Yeah.
You make them come from massaging the prostate. You usually just lube your finger because the prostate's like right there. And there's a way to rub the prostate usually in like a circular motion, very gently because the prostate's super sensitive. So, but there's like a circular way that you rub the prostate and he will come, or you can rub the prostate till he's getting ready to come, and then jump on top and he'll come harder. So I learned a lot about milking the prostate through an ex I had. That was something he wanted to try. It was his birthday. I wasn't going to say no.
Happy birthday.
Well, right. But, I mean, it took me like 2 weeks of... I had to do research. I had to ask some of my, like...
You had to consult a doctor.
I had to consult people. Yeah, I did. I consulted a friend of mine who's a doctor. And I was like, yo, where is it? What does it feel like so that I know I'm hitting the right spot? Like, I don't know. I've never stuck my finger up a man's ass. So I want to do this right. I don't want to hurt him, you know. And it took me about, I swear, like 2 weeks of prep time to learn how to do that properly. But he still says to this day it was the best orgasm he's ever had. Now, we only did it once, but he said it was the best orgasm he's ever had. Now, he is quite the salacious individual. And
so I guess that's saying something then.
So, like,
you won an Oscar.
So I won an Oscar. I won an Oscar there. How would you feel about that? Would you try it once?
I mean, now that you, like, provided the scientific evidence, or not evidence, but you say that...
I mean, apparently it's really, really...
People are talking.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's something with some of these recent topics revolving around the butt. I feel like a lot of men, they have to get over that homophobia.
The homophobia that comes with anal play.
Exactly. So, once you get past that, I guess, like you say, it must biologically it sounds like it would be amazing. Would I be open to that? Right now, no. Right. But I feel like maybe later down the road when I have been tired of the level I'm at. Like, it's the level I'm at right now, I'm pretty comfortable with. Right. But I feel like, I'll eventually come with, like, there'll be a second renaissance or something.
Absolutely.
So, that'll probably be in that playlist, but right now,
that's just where you are. Yeah. Milking the prostate is definitely, I would say, a very taboo topic, like probably one of the most taboo topics on my list.
Like, too, you had to do research.
I did, because you have to do it properly. Like, you could, imagine you could really hurt someone. Like, I don't know, I didn't hurt him, but I felt like this huge responsibility to do it properly and not to hurt him.
You had him in your hands.
Literally. So, no, I definitely had to do a lot of research.
You would have to have a lot of trust. I don't think that's something you can like bring into a one-night stand.
No.
That's something you have to like generate that trust and that intimacy.
Yeah, like he and I were friends a long time before we ever started dating. And, you know, when he asked me for it, it was kind of like, I think based on our friendship, like, because that's really, it wasn't the relationship because it was still too new. But the friendship kind of was like, all right, well, it is his birthday. You know, birthday sex is important to everybody, you know. So, but that was that. It took a lot of research, you know, to do that properly. Like, ladies, if you decide that you want to give your man the most amazing orgasm he's ever had, do the research first. Because prostate milking is definitely, I think it can be dangerous. I mean, I think it's more dangerous than BDSM.
I feel like that's something you also have to trim your nails for.
Oh, yeah, I cut my nails all the way off. Yeah. I cut them, like, way down. Yeah, I cut my nails all the way off. Because I was scared I was going to scratch them.
That makes me shudder. Oof.
Yeah. It makes me shudder. So, yeah, it does. Like, that's a crazy one. So how do you feel about gooching?
You have to explain that one to me too, because I don't know what that is.
Guys, do you know what gooching is? Gooching.
If anyone knows that, please say in the comments so I can know how salacious you are.
Yeah, who's salacious enough? Who knows what gooching is? Nikki, you know what gooching is? She knows what gooching is, but that's that Scorpio life.
She pulled it up on Urban Dictionary right now. She has
that's that Scorpio life right there. We know what it is. Who in the comments knows what gooching is? Apparently nobody, because everybody's waiting for me to say gooching is the oral stimulation of the area between the anus and the balls.
Okay, I have heard about that. I didn't know it under that phrase. I don't know what to say to that. I didn't even know that was a thing. I mean, well, I heard someone bring it up one time, and I was like, is that really a thing?
No, it's a thing.
I have never experienced that, but like, I've never even experienced a sensitivity down there, to my knowledge.
There is it's very sensitive. I feel like when women give head, they tend to ignore the balls and that area, and I think you shouldn't. You know, like, you give head, I give good head, like we all give good head, like yeah. But don't forget the balls, and don't suck balls the way you suck dick, because they're way more sensitive. And don't, you got to be gentle with the balls. Yeah,
be very gentle with those, please.
Be very gentle with the balls.
Please, please.
Please, please, please. You hear them, guys?
But when you're gentle, it makes a world of difference.
Yeah. You know, more licking, less sucking with the balls.
That's just being intimate.
Yeah. You know.
There's no rules.
And if you just lift those balls up and give it a lick, there you go. You know, you got ladies, you know how we like that area because we have a similar area of our own.
Is that a similar thing? Like if you did that to a woman?
It's not as sensitive as it is on a guy, but it is very similar.
That's one of those things that I would be open to it, but I feel like that's something that has to be snuck up on me because if a woman told me a heads up, hey, I want to do this to you, is it okay? Depending on the mood, I might be like, I don't know. But I feel like if she just dove in and knew what she was doing,
you might just let it happen.
I would let it happen if it was good. If it felt weird and I didn't enjoy it, then I'll be like, oh, at least I experienced it. But that's...
Yeah. We'll hold that thought. We'll be right back with Gooching.
Hey, what's up, good people? It's the man you all know and love, E. Digger. Make sure you check us out every Saturday from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on BeExposedRadio.com. Couple minutes left in the segment. Sure. Change is good. Yes. Knowing when to make that change in your life. And I think it's important that you know a strategy. You know where you need to go. But change is good. Everything don't stay the same.
Right.
And if you're a person, especially for old people, that can't accept change, then it's kind of hard.
Right.
I was going to a church. I'm gonna make this real brief. I was going to a church that could not. Some older members. I attended the second oldest black Presbyterian church in the country. That's one. And why are you laughing?
Yeah, it's bad that you even knew that.
And that's a soundbite. Yeah. So
thank you, Eric.
we would play certain music, and we implemented a lot of equipment or instruments like drums and piano, and the style of singing changed. And two people out of the congregation, after the service, they would go up to the pastor, sit down, and say, "Hey, sit down. Let me talk to you." And they will critique each song in the service every week, and it was change. It was evolution. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
And they could not begin to accept it. Like, they are used to the traditional hymn.
The Negro spiritual.
Yes. Not only that.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Okay, I was confused. I was like, wait, that hand clap didn't sound like a hand clap. We're back with Salacious Life with Dr. Wren. We are talking taboo sex acts tonight. We got Ing in the building. We are getting a male's point of view. It says, it's the beard for me. I'm just saying. I know that's right. You gotta love a beard. Gotta love a man with a beard.
That's what I've been told, and a lot of women that I mean, at my age, I'm a bit younger. I'm in my 20s, and some women in their early 20s, they never really had a woman with a beard. So but once they experience it, they're like, "Oh, this is what it's about." They like feeling that beard on them.
Beard on them, like, look. At least have a shadow. There needs to be some sort of facial hair. I can't have no baby faces, not between my legs.
That's cradle robbing right there.
Right. Well, back to the topic. We were talking about gooching, and you said that you wouldn't ask for it. If a woman wanted to do it, you would want her to go and confidently just go in. Sneak it up on you.
Blow my mind.
I know a lot of, I've had guys tell me that, they would kick me in my head. Like kick me across the room. And I was like,
I can see a knee-jerk reaction.
And see, happening. That's what I have bed cuffs that will cuff your ankles and your arms, and they come under the mattress, so you really can't hurt me, right? Then I might go in, because I'm like, no,
now that I know what it is, I feel like if someone tried to do it on me, I'm like, okay, this is what they're doing. I know what they're about to do. But if someone doesn't have that knowledge, they might think you're going for
their ass, to eat their ass.
And then you're like, oh, baby, what you doing? No.
Like, no, I'm not ready. No.
She wasn't ready.
Oh, man. Woo.
They don't teach that in sex ed. I feel like they should, because that could probably remove a lot of bedroom violence.
Right. Because there are things that, like guys should tell a girl when he's trying to go in that back door, because if you just try to go in it all willy-nilly,
it's gonna prolapse.
You can fuck around and get fucked up in that room. Nigga, you know I'm right. Don't you mess around and get messed up in that room.
Oh no.
No, you better say something like, look, we better feel some drips from some lube or something. Like, we need to be forewarned before you try to go in that back door. Because,
You gotta have one of those 30-second
the little signs, like.
The accident is the worst.
The accident.
Yeah, because they're going full force. They're going full force.
You would feel like you got ripped in half.
That kills the night. That would be a night killer.
Like, I could see me, like, losing it all. Like, I would just be like, oh, it's over.
Soul leaving body.
My soul left my body. It's done. You can have it back. No, you can't stay over. You need to get the fuck out of my house. Like, I need to tend to my broken ass now. Thank you.
I think that's a valid ghosting reason. You just ghost someone. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah. Like, I would probably, like, completely, like, how, you know, Petty Betty got blocked on all your social media. Like, that's a blocking move. Like, that's the easiest way for you to get, like, don't try to slip it in. Mm-hmm. Like, what? There's no slipping a penis in an asshole.
There's just some things you don't do.
You just don't do that. They, you know, I've had guys tell me that they're like, well, I get her warmed up with a finger. I'm like,
one finger?
One finger compared. Look, if your dick compares to one finger, you shouldn't be fucking.
we ain't going down if that's it.
If that's what you got working, if that's what you working with, nah, we good. But that's what this one guy, one of my clients, because he was trying to learn ways to talk his wife into being a little bit more sexual and what's the word, exploratory, open-minded in the bedroom. And he's like, well, you know, I think she would let me do it because she lets me put one finger in there. I'm like, one finger does not feel anything like a penis.
Nope.
Like, that is not the same thing. Oh God, Kate, get a life. Anyway, so we're talking about gooching. So sneak it up on him. I'd say, ladies, just make sure you have a conversation with your guy before, you know. Charlene says from one to the next with ease. That's funny. But I think, ladies, if you're going to do that, if you're going to take your oral sex game to that level where you start including the area between the balls and the anus, make sure that prior to that you've had a reasonable conversation with your man. You know, because you'll want to get kicked in the head. Like, that might hurt. You wake up with a black eye, you go to work the next day, they're like, what happened? I tried to suck his balls and he kicked me in my head.
Oh, Lordy.
Like, my face is fucked up. You know?
Oh, Lordy.
Nikki, I know you want to say something. You in there dying laughing.
She's got the walkie-talkie up.
I'm reading comments.
Oh, right. Petty Betty over here.
Oh, let me see
She's
that.
Funny.
Let me see that.
You want to see Petty Betty's comment?
Whatever you did,
he laid that pipe. That's what happened. Ing laid that pipe. Now we got Petty Betty in the feed.
got me thinking, like, what?
What is Ing doing? Ing laid that. Right. He brought it. That's what happened. She turned all the way out.
Right. I mean, all I'll say is I've apologized for what I've done, and I'm trying to move on and be an adult. And there's, you know, that's all I'm gonna say. If you need to talk more, you can message me in private, and we can discuss this even more. But I'm over it.
Hold up, Ing. I'm just saying, you got it hot in here. What are you doing to these ladies? No, I'm not gonna go there. Hey, Matthew. We got Matthew Lord join. Matthew performed at Roseanne Repete. His very erotic poetry.
I loved it, Matthew. I loved it, and you need to record it. You need to document this because it was beautiful.
It is beautiful. Like, I read the book, and I was like, "Oh my God, Matthew! Like, what the hell?" I saw him perform.
It wasn't only just the words; it was the way it was delivered.
It was the way it was delivered.
It was conviction.
Right. I saw him perform at Peace and a Cup of Joe before I asked him, like, dude, like, this needs to be part of Roseanne Repete. I saw him perform at Peace and a Cup of Joe, and it was amazing. Like, and I was like, wow, like, I'm feeling some kind of way. That needs to be part of foreplay. Like, it needs to be part of foreplay. Mm-hmm. And then I've read through some other things, and I was like, all right, we'll build up, because then it needs to be part of, like, the end part of intercourse before we got to aftercare. Guys, if y'all missed it, those are the 3 stages of sex. So, anyway, back to taboo. So where were we at? We were at getting kicked in the face, right? So gooching might get you kicked in the face. So make sure you have the conversation with your guy before you do that. While we're still on the subject of head, let's talk about State Trooper, because that was something that was very popular. State Trooper giving head in the car while he's driving. State Trooper. I'm for it. I love the excitement of it all. I try not to do it when the guy's driving a stick because it's a little harder to maneuver.
That requires a lot.
Like, I would think it would be harder to maneuver. I have not tried to give a guy a head who drives a stick in a car. And actually, not that many people have actually gotten that for me before. But in the relationships that I've been in, I have done that because, I mean, you know, we'll be on long trips and he's sitting over there looking all juicy and shit. And I'm like, yeah, let's, anytime, any place. Let's go there. How would you feel? Could you keep the car steady driving down 97?
It depends on the road. If it's just like a long, you know, like country road, I'm going on a long road trip and I'm just going to be on the same highway for 50 miles or so.
50 miles is a perfect amount of time to give head, ladies, if you know how to control your man. Because you don't want him to come while you're performing oral sex on him while he's driving.
Gas pedal. I've had there's a story of a guy I went to high school with who he was getting roadhead. And
roadhead. Roadhead.
Really, that's how I know it by. I didn't know it by State Trooper. Roadhead. But he was getting roadhead, and he accidentally hit the brakes too hard, and she bit down. Oh. So you have to definitely, you know, be on the right road. Don't be too distracted. I don't know if I've never gone through with it, but I'm the kind of person that when such things are happening, I like to not have to worry about things.
Like her biting your dick off.
Like biting my dick off, or just having to worry, like focusing on the road. I'm very like, if I'm getting head, I want to be focused on just that. I don't want to have other things in my mind. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of people, I don't know if this is on the list, but like a lot of people are into the whole public, you know, let's do it.
Public sex. That's on the list.
I like to focus. I don't have to want to worry about getting caught or anything like that. So, you know, I just read the comment, Xavier.
Right. 50 miles. Wouldn't a woman get jaw? What does it say?
Like,
get locked jaw around 20 miles.
Like, as a similar example, I had a girl I was hooking up with who wanted to give me a head in a movie theater, and I couldn't focus because the movie was bad. It was it was a Melissa McCarthy movie. I think it was called like Tammy or something.
I don't know.
And you seen the movie? It's a really bad movie, and I couldn't focus on the head because the movie was so bad. And so we actually moved to a separate theater, and we ended up doing it to Transformers, which was definitely, you know, explosions.
Better.
Explosions
while you explode.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. I have never had sex in a movie theater. Like, no type of it. Oral, nothing. Right. Like, that is just something I haven't done. It's hard to coordinate.
I guess
that's got to be a bucket list thing.
We kept moving around theaters because we had to find one that was really empty, and we can find a dark corner because we moved from Tammy to Transformers. But then, like, some families started showing up, and we're like, we're not about to get it
in while kids are in the room.
So we then ended up, like, finding another theater where, I forget what movie was playing, but it was empty. There was, like, one couple that was, like, sitting on the opposite corner.
Oh, man.
So you have to really coordinate and go to a movie that's been out for a while, that no one's going to, go to a noon showing. You got to think of when's the time when people can't go to...
When people can't go to the movies. So go to Landmark during the week, guys. Apparently, that's the best place to go.
We're all going to have a meetup. We're going to rent
and they sell alcohol, so you can get your liquid courage before you go get it.
No. So go at 3.
Right.
You get that. You take her to brunch, and then after brunch, you go to the movie.
You go to the movie. James Joyce is right across the street. Go get you some whiskey
There
and
you
take it across the street. Matthew said he got head in that theater once.
Everyone's got the head hookup on movie theaters, apparently.
Yeah, the Hoyt's weekdays. Look at that, Xavier. Like, everybody knows where to go.
I need a map of Baltimore with like dots
With
on
dots.
all the places that have good public sex.
Right, because public sex is on our list
But then
as
again,
taboo sex acts.
But if there was a list and everyone knew about it, then you might catch other people there.
Right, and it is not so fun.
I mean, unless you want to turn it into an orgy.
Orgies are on the list. We can talk about orgies. Let's go into orgies. So apparently, orgies are very taboo. I know. Threesomes and orgies are very taboo. So
I've met a lot of people that are open to it, but it's easier to talk about being open to something than actually following through.
Like, I think straight women, like the idea of having another woman in the room with her, may feel uncomfortable.
I would never do that because I feel like there would be a lot of jealousy at play, unless it's two girls that I am not in a relationship with.
So no poly relationships for you.
I just personally, I don't think I would be into having a poly thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've never attempted one, so maybe I feel like it's one thing where
you have to meet the right woman.
I would have to fall into the right group of people, and I would have to find the right people.
Well, you keep coming to the conclave. You may fall into the right group of people. That is one place you may slip and trip and fall on a dick.
I just don't like drama. I've gone through a lot of drama in the past, and I am trying to just avoid drama.
Okay.
So it's just, if involving a separate woman into it is going to bring drama, I would avoid that.
No, and that's the thing. I'm not big on drama. I think that orgies and threesomes can be a lot of fun, but I don't think that Xavier said,
yeah, I see it.
F women, I don't want my homie with his member exposed.
That's a thing that, a lot of people go through, but I feel like my appeal of having the whole MFM thing is the fact that the woman is the one in control and she's the one enjoying all of it. Mm-hmm. And I think there's no greater pleasure than in seeing a woman who's enjoying herself that much.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
So I would be willing to set aside the fact that if you watch
men.
If you watch porn, you've seen a dick,
right?
So
you've all seen a dick. Shit, if y'all play sports, y'all seen a dick. Like, there's plenty of
exactly. So we all know what a penis looks like. Everyone has a penis that is a guy. So get over it. The fact that it's a little bit.
You're trying to do something for this lady in the room.
Yeah.
And nobody's saying you got to do double penetration, at least not anal, vaginal double penetration.
That dick is going to be 6 feet away or so on the other side.
Right.
So
like somebody could be in her mouth and somebody can be
exactly.
on the tail end.
There's a distance.
Right. I definitely agree with that. But I think threesomes can be a lot of fun. I spent a lot of my life in poly relationships, so threesomes were just what I knew. I definitely think that there needs to be an understanding. Like with a threesome, like it's either very casual, like you said, like two people you don't really care, but like this is just about sex, or it needs to be in a relationship where Matthew Mimi is not here tonight.
They had some fun.
They definitely had fun being at Conclave Saturday. Mimi talking about cocaine and anal sex. That was definitely the highlight of the night. Right. She's shaking her head. I was shaking my head. I didn't even know how to feel about
Mimi the one that was rubbing up on you, Matthew, when you were reading your poetry? Or someone was rubbing on you during one of the poems?
I think that was Co-Ed Bliss. Oh, it was Mimi? Oh, it was Mimi.
Well, there was 2 different ones. He read 2 poems, and there's one for each poem.
Oh.
Mimi at first, and then Keita.
Okay. I thought that was what made the reading even more sensual, because, not only was it the conviction of him reading it, but it was also the fact that, I think he was rubbing up on Mimi, and then the second girl was rubbing up on him. Mm. Yeah. And
Matthew definitely had a good time.
That is a performance, man. You should take that on the road whenever you perform. You should have women that are doing that while you read your poetry. That should be part of your performance.
That should be part of the performance. So, Matthew, we are going to work on that, making sure you have...
We'll make you a superstar.
We'll make you a superstar with beautiful women rubbing all over you while you deliver your orgiastic poetry. Whew. Just thinking about it. Give me shivers. But we have to get ready to take a break, so I'm not going to go into public sex because we hinted at it. We'll get back to it after our break. So why don't we go ahead and pay these bills? We'll be right back with Salacious Live.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. I had got drunk one night. This is the night that I put my head through the window and everything. So.
Why would you do that?
Now, I was sitting on the floor.
All these stories always involve alcohol.
They do. I was sitting on the floor, and my drink of choice back then was vodka and orange juice.
Ooh,
it's still my drink of choice, but I don't drink it as much.
I was a 151 kid, straight up.
I love vodka, especially when it was
that rubbing alcohol. What brand?
I love back then. I was hooked on Absolute.
That was the best at the time.
And Pinnacle was like number 2 and stuff like that.
Because they didn't have what's the new one that came out? Yeah, what was the new one?
Ciroc vodka and
no, the other one. Who is real smooth? New Amsterdam. New Amsterdam came out, and it was so...
And Grey Goose. Grey Goose was out at that time, too.
See, I didn't drink... I told you, 151. That was my...
Yeah, Grey Goose vodka was one of the ones, because I loved the bottle. Because you can light it on fire. The bottle was hot. It was that shaded, that shaved glass.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So... I was sitting on the floor, and we was talking about something I don't even remember what we were talking about. All I know is I was bust out laughing. I got ching-ling-ling-ling-ling, glass everywhere. I wouldn't cut it all, though. I had to go.
Because you had your bun.
Actually, I didn't. I ain't have any hair back then.
Ooh.
I don't remember. I don't think I did.
And you ain't cut your hair?
Nope. I was just fine. I was like, oh, your glass broke, and it was winter, dead of winter.
Check more of these funny moments out when you tune into BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
And we're back with Salacious Life. I'm Dr. Wren. I have special guest in the building tonight. We are talking taboo sex acts. So... let me go down the list real quick. We talked about double penetration. We talked about eating ass, anal sex, prostate milking, gooching, pegging, the rusty trombone. Hey, Keita. And we were talking about public sex and threesomes.
Or just group sex in general.
Or just, yeah. See, public sex would be... I mean, I guess like there's a certain mental thing that comes with
you have to. The people that I've met that have been into it, they don't mind if they were to get caught, or at least that's what they say. I don't know what would actually happen in the actual act, but to me, I need to have a calm mind if I'm being intimate or sexual. I can't, like we were talking before about Roadhead. I would have too many things going through my mind.
Yeah,
so
you'd be worried about...
so, like, it just wouldn't be as fun for me. I mean, if the woman enjoyed it, she's like, hey, I really wanted to do this thing, I'm down for it. But, like, I need to be in a room, a hotel room, bedroom, wherever. I need to just know that it's just us and there's going to be no, like, distractions. Or
right. You don't have to worry about the car stopping short in front of you or something like that. I get it. I mean, I suggest when it comes to State Trooper, highway.
Like, it's
got to be highway. It's got to be open road.
That you can just, put on cruise control so you don't even have to worry about your gas pedal.
Right. And see, to me, State Trooper kind of is public sex. I mean, unless he has tent. Like, anybody can ride past in the car next to you and see what you're doing.
Imagine if you stopped at a stoplight.
And somebody just looks over like, oh, shit.
I've definitely been on that side where I'm at a stoplight, I look over, and I saw that happening once.
Yeah. I got some crazy looks one time. I was going somewhere with my ex-girlfriend, and my homegirl was in the back seat. And me and my ex-girl, I don't know what happened. We were at the stoplight, like on the way to Dundalk or something. I don't know where the fuck we were going. But we just had a moment where we were like, I'm half in the seat, she's driving, I'm damn near in the driver's seat, and we were getting it on. And the girl that was sitting in the back seat was like, everybody's watching, and it's a green light. It was very funny.
So Matt just brought up a good point in the comments. He mentioned how he's done it in the ocean on a public beach.
Ah.
I think that's something I'd be okay with.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not like Ocean City primetime summer crowd where there's like thousands of people, but if it's kind of like, a local beach and, there's a few people, but, you don't really care because it's one or two.
So, Co-Ed Bliss from McLean's Couch said, no sucking penis when driving. Didn't you learn anything from American Gods? When I saw that episode, the first episode of American Gods, if y'all haven't seen it, you've got to watch American Gods. But yeah, she did die with his dick in her mouth.
What a way to go.
But I don't think it was her fault.
They don't really talk about that in driver's ed. I feel like that should be a topic in driver's ed class. They say don't drink and drive, but it's also just don't get your dick sucked while driving.
Don't get your dick sucked while driving. It says once Megan's Bay. Ooh, in St. Thomas. Ooh.
That's a vacation.
That's that fancy public sex. Ooh, Matthew. You gonna have these girls trying to go with you or go with us to the Bahamas because they think they're gonna get you in the ocean.
So I've also heard people say that on the beach, like in the sand, is not fun.
No, it's not, because sand gets in. We talked about that at Keontae in Conversations. No, sand is not a good thing.
No.
Sand.
I hate sand in general. Like just I hate
in your shoes,
in my shoes.
Your clothes.
I hate the beach.
So can you imagine that being in your vagina? No, we do not want sand in there. Like, it has to be doggy style if you have sex on the beach. Like, because you have to keep the sand away from that precious area.
Or you would have to be the woman would have to be on top.
But even then, nope, because you're still too close. Doggy style. Like, she needs to be up on her knees. It needs to be at least 1.5 feet to 2 feet of height between the sand and
I just hate sand, and I hate
Do you see what she said?
Head game was awesome. He closed his eyes while driving. That's a way to go though.
And then look,
what do you talk about the funeral? Do you dance around that? Do you just talk about that?
They went in on.
They died in an auto accident.
They died in an auto accident.
And they were cheating.
Oh, what a way to find out.
Yeah.
What a way to find out that your significant other is cheating.
Like, they were two spouses and they were cheating with each other. You've got to watch American Gods. There is a homosexual episode, so for y'all who are very homophobic, it might not be for you. However, it's an amazing show.
Was that very passionate for you? The episode.
The episode.
I was like, what did he do? Did he take his soul?
I think he fucked his soul out. He took him.
I can't wait for it to come back on.
American Gods is an amazing show. It comes on Stars.
I'm very behind on my shows lately.
Well, you have Amazon. It's
on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
I used to have Amazon Prime.
It's on something. You'll find
it
American
on Netflix.
Gods. Oh, Showbox. Yeah, Showbox.
Shh. I'll find someone.
We didn't say that. We need to take a break. We'll be right back because we got to address Co-Ed Bliss after these messages.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Marnie, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Ladies, are you in need of the best quality hair extensions, a cute outfit, or that perfect pair of shades? Pink Ice products can cover you from head to toe. From flawless weaves to apparel. Visit us online at pinkiceproducts.bigcartel.com. We're located at 3000 Old Alabama Road, 119-303, Alpharetta, Georgia. Or give us a call at 470-488-6484. Come on in and check out Pink Ice Products today.
It's time for a flashback.
Now, I'm not gonna say all Aries don't know, but
It's just the one you had. That was
this
just.
particular one, you know. Yeah. But it's always something that you can.
Go ahead, Bliss. Can you recollect any signs that you might not get right?
October 15th or 16th. What is that?
And Libras.
See, I've had some good Libras and I had one really bad Libra, but he was white, so he his back anyway. So I don't.
Wait. Hold on. Wait a minute. Demonstrate. You got to demonstrate the back.
No. Ain't no way.
Not the how they bust. But show how they bust.
And then want to cry afterwards. I mean, what the is the point of the tears? I mean, I can see you shaking, yeah, and shake it off real quick. But you crying? F out of here.
What was he crying for?
Cause maybe this pussy make that. You in? I got that good nasty bitch. The shame.
Oh shit.
McLean's Couch every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Check out what you missed on Be Exposed Radio.
Are you getting your kids this hoverboard thing that's taking over the country? They range from $300 to $600. They're blowing up. And then I mean literally blowing up. That one video, I thought that was going to be the one and only video that I saw in reference to it, and it wasn't. Now I could probably tell you about 10 to 15 videos of this happening where this battery gets super, super hot and burns like holes into your tennis shoes.
Oh my.
And I know you would be pissed if you was wearing Jordans and you just paid all that money, your lights are off. And
especially if they're from China.
Your lights off.
Check out the Talk Lately show every Tuesday nights from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
And we're back. Before we continue, I did want to address Coed Bliss's comments because, well, first, Steve said, come and kill. So if you're state troopering and you make that man come, just know you're going to lose your life. Coed Bliss says, no head while driving. Nope, that's it. That's the end of it. She also says, no sex on the beach. So there's the end of that. And she said, I mean, it's just like, nope.
She's just crossing up nope on all your lists.
I'm just saying, Coed Bliss, you're just as salacious as I am. Since when do we become such a square?
We have reached the crossroads.
The lines are open. If anybody wants to call in, the number is 410-702-5657. What were you going to say?
Oral sex is not her strong point, especially for her giving. I mean, her
receiving it, her giving. Male oral sex. Like, she will give female oral sex. She goes in. But, yeah. She says, I know it, but she said she loves living, so that's why she's not into state trooper.
But what if you could still do all your salacious things in the afterlife?
Ooh, that's the gift that keeps on giving.
That's the gift that keeps. And then your world opens up to a whole world of dead people.
Yeah. Well, yeah. On that note, we are going to move to facials. Cause
that's taboo.
There's a lot of women who are not into facials. They think it is disgusting. They don't want to see the cum.
Really?
Like, they don't care where you put it as long as we can't see it.
I found it's very
why do men like giving facials?
It's a power thing. It's a power thing. It's also, I guess, if we want to even go more into animalistic tendencies, it's like marking your territory kind of thing. That's just how I view it. How I view it is just kind of a power thing, you know. It's a very intimate thing for them.
Yeah.
But
so what's more? What would give you a bigger sense of power, coming on her face or down her throat?
Well, if we're going for just like the whole power thing, it's definitely on the face because she just has to sit there and take it. If a woman's swallowing, I found that to be more of like they are initiating and they're in control of that situation.
Right, they're sucking your soul out.
Yeah, exactly.
So they swallow to come.
And I found a lot of women, it's very like yes or no. They're either like I'm gonna swallow, and a lot of people, like I remember in high school, a lot of people were like, oh, no woman's actually gonna swallow. But like I've found that maybe I've just been lucky. But
no, I think the vast majority of women, if they're in a relationship, they'll swallow.
Yeah, but meanwhile, you know, there's some women that are just like, I don't like that.
Yeah, and they go spit. I mean, there's nothing wrong with just spitting it out. You know,
yeah,
like you have a bottle next to you.
I've met a woman who she was very into. She says, I don't want to swallow. I don't want it in my mouth or around my face, but you can come in me all you want.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe that's just a unique thing, or there's probably a niche of people.
I'm sure there's a lot of women who feel like that. Like, you know, I actually dated a guy at one point. We actually never had sex, but we talked about it, and he was like, I can't see cum. Like, I need to come. He didn't want to see his own cum.
He's never seen it. He doesn't.
I mean, I'm sure if he ever, I don't know. He might have jerked off in a sock. Like he didn't want to see it. Like we never actually got there.
Does he not like seeing his own dick too?
I don't know. Like we never got there in our relationship where, you know, I actually put this information into practice. Mm-hmm. But that was a big conversation one night. He was like, you know, if we're ever intimate, like I need to come like in your mouth or in something because I don't want to see. He was like, and then you have to get up and get rid of it. No. I can't see it.
I personally enjoy the whole salaciousness of women enjoying that aspect, you know,
facial.
Whether it's on a face, on their breasts, on their ass. Like I just personally enjoy women is enjoying sex as
right.
And, you know, all aspects of it,
right?
Even the whole end part, you know, they need to. I heard someone once use the term they're marinating in it. They're literally marinating
in sex. Yeah.
So
I mean, there's been plenty of nights, especially when a pink or black hef has been introduced, where we will be marinating in the wetness because it's definitely real. So speaking of wetness. Golden showers.
No.
Not for you. What about in the bathroom? If you're in the shower and she's on her knees or something.
If she wants me to do it to her, I guess it's not hurting me because, like, you know, I'm just peeing but I would definitely need her to shower and clean herself before anything continues. As for like if someone wanted to do it on me, no, that is not happening. No
golden showers. You don't want her to pee on you.
It's just no. Like, I mean, I've read up on why people enjoy it because I remember hearing about it. I'm like, why do people like this? And instead of just, you know, cringing and being like, ew, I kind of wanted to understand, like, you know, why do people enjoy it? And they see it as like a power thing. Again, a lot of sex is just power dynamics.
It is a power thing.
So people who enjoy being either pissed on or shit on.
I can't even imagine being peed on, especially if being shat upon. Like, you think you're going to shit on me? Shat upon?
There are people on, like, Craigslist and stuff, though, that are willing to pay women hundreds of dollars to, like, shit on them.
Yeah. I had a guy pay me $500 for a video of me taking my sock off. You couldn't see anything but just my calf and my foot. Like, it took me 2 seconds. Yeah. This was like way back. I was like,
oh, you should have dragged it out. You should have really gone like,
Oh, I did. But I'm just saying it was like a short video, but I couldn't believe it.
There are people that pay for women's used underwear. Like,
oh no, there's a big market for
that.
Look, guys.
If I was a woman, I'd be on that.
Right, like there's a big market for that. Maybe I should put up a site, Dr. Wren's panties, and see what people we can bid them out.
Salacious panties,
salacious undies. See what people.
But
will
there's a lot of
We can
interesting things that
eBay
people are into, and it's a power dynamic. So I understand if people want to be degraded and they want to, feel lesser, and that's what they enjoy.
Right.
And that's fine. If I had to pick between the two, like this is like life depending on it, I would go with the golden showers. But again, that's like if I had to choose between the two, I would rather choose neither.
Absolutely. Like
So no.
Nah. Xavier goes drip, drip, drip.
Oh no. Oh, no.
In his Dave Chappelle voice. Matthew says maybe in the shower.
Yeah, again, peeing in the shower, I would consider that. If that's something that they really truly like, please do this for me, I will do that. I will take one for the team.
Yeah.
And I will do that.
Yeah, like I might take one for the team in a shower or something like that. I'm not saying let him pee on me.
No.
I might pee on him in the shower.
Yeah.
Or pee on her in the shower, depending on what the case is. But I've never been into.
I can go my whole life without it.
I could go my whole life without being peed upon or shat upon. Like, it's bad enough when I gotta go clean up the shit in my backyard for my dog.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not.
Get the
I didn't want to
shovel.
wipe my son's ass. Like, y'all asking a lot.
I worry about that a lot if I ever become a dad. I mean, it'll probably happen, but like when it happens, I dread those moments.
You know what? You learn to move really fast. Like I learned.
I'm gonna be the most efficient diaper changer.
Record time. Like it was up, wipe, and back in the diaper. Because other thing with boys, they'll pee on you.
Yeah.
While they have the diaper off, so you have to learn to change the diaper really, really fast when you got a boy.
Ooh.
Yeah. So moving on. This is totally unrelated, but apparently, so 8% of Americans is into this. I had never, ever heard that before. They are into knife play. Knife play is dragging a knife in a erotic way along someone's body in like a massaging way with like a sharp, cold knife.
I can see that.
Like 8% of Americans.
It kind of plays
a knife,
into.
though. Like if you slip, you die. Lakita say, "I'm not about to be dead."
This goes with trust, and it also depends on where they're like dragging along. How sharp is the knife? I could see if you're just doing it up and down a thigh kind of thing. Not around any major jugular veins or. Some people.
A thigh. That's that one.
Yeah.
artery.
Okay. I'm just thinking now, but like. Again, you have to do it very delicately. Don't be firm unless you like have discussed this plenty of times with this person and have trust. But I can see how people like that danger. There's some people, I don't know if this is on the list, but some people are into rape play.
Yeah, a lot of people into rape play. No, that wasn't on my list because I thought it was a touchy subject. But yeah, a lot of people are into force.
That's like uber
play.
taboo subject.
Yeah.
But again, some people like that dangerous aspect, and that kind of ties into, I know we're going to talk about BDSM soon.
Matthew says he wants to shave a woman. Funny, Matthew, a lot of women want to be shaved by their man.
That's a market you should tap into.
Yeah, so that's a big thing.
I would be interested in like receiving that, like having a woman shave. Well, I don't really like. I'm kind of a bushy guy. Yeah. So.
Well, maybe she can just manscape a little bit. She doesn't have to shave it off.
Yeah.
I used to shave my ex-husband's head, and he used to love that.
That goes in with like massages and stuff too.
Yeah. Yeah. So since we're talking about BDSM and knife play, we might as well just go all the way into BDSM.
Go into it.
So for those who don't know, BDSM is bondage, dominance, sadomasochism. So you gotta love it. There's a lot of facets to BDSM. Some of my favorites are electric stimulation with a violet wand. I own and have one. Whips and crops, flogging. That's I'm very good at that. Apparently, I was flogging.
I have like
on
a
my
mini.
show.
I have a mini one. I've been kind of working my way
I
into
have
that.
like real big, long.
I had a crush on a
ones.
girl in high school who was a horse rider, and she had the crop.
She had a
And I
crop.
remember we were at a party, and she was like, I like did something to annoy her, and she hit me with it, and I was like, man, this is good.
Right. you know, you gotta love a crop. I have a crop.
But I'm more now on the dominant side of things.
Right.
So you know.
So I would say, I'm definitely not on the submissive or slave side, but I'm not necessarily a dominant. I kind of fall in between, where most of us fall. But I am well versed in flogging, whips, crops, and electric stimulation. One of the things I'm learning is rope play.
I was a Boy Scout when I was younger, so I got those knots down super quick.
So the whole thing is to tie these knots on specific erogenous pressure points.
I never got
when
into
they
that
move,
kind of stuff.
Right. So when the woman or man tries to move, it either puts pressure or massages certain areas.
I've seen that where they have it tied around the breasts. And
certain like places, like there's different spots all over.
I use it strictly as a you're not fucking moving thing. I once did a configuration where I had it tighten. The more they struggled, the more it tightened.
Yeah.
So they eventually had to kind of give up.
Right.
And
I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
So I'm learning it. I'm learning these parts of the body, and of course, rope play is different depending on if you're tying up a man or a female. I just kind of really want to know. I've never, experienced it myself, but I've watched it done. There's a lot of aftercare that goes into rope play. Just like, there should be more aftercare that goes into flogging, whips, and
I feel like all that stuff, you really need the whole thing with BDSM is that's something you can't one night stand. You can't do that.
You have to have a relationship with the person.
With every person I've ever done that to, I have a lengthy conversation. Like, this is what I like to do. What do you like to do? What are your, what are the gray areas that you might be interested that I can maybe touch on? But, you also have to know, like, what's the safe word? What is the tap out?
What's the tap out? What's the safe word? Like, you've got to know how far this person is really willing to go. Like, some people are into asphyxiation and things like that.
I can never get into I can dive into it if they're into it, but I'm always like, I will do it for 5 seconds and then
gotta let
I'm
go.
off.
Gotta let go. I think so one guy I was talking to was telling me that there was a grip type thing with asphyxiation,
there's a certain way that you can do it without completely blocking the windpipe too much. It's more of a pressure than a choke.
Like a pressure than a choke. So that's definitely something. Like, BDSM, I think, is amazing. So, like, my last fetish event that I did, I tied a guy up to a St. Andrew's cross. I don't know if any of you guys that are listening knows what a St. Andrew's cross is, but it's actually a big X where the hands are tied and the feet are tied to each end of the X. And I performed whipping and flogging on him. So I definitely, BDSM is definitely something I love. We'll get back into BDSM in our final segment. We're going to take a break. This is Salacious Life.
Hey everybody, check out what you missed on the one and only Be Inspired radio show. So how important is it for you to have an organization like that and having a child of your own? How does that influence your ability to do the Impact organization?
It influences a lot. It's a little bit challenging because a lot of times people will say, oh, like, you have to practice what you preach, right? So if I'm telling my daughter and I'm raising her under the impact principles and I'm telling other mothers to do this, I have to do the same thing with my child, which is kind of testy a little bit, but I see a lot of development with her. Her leadership, she's only 4. And when I say she has some awesome leadership qualifications, I mean awesome. It's little things that we can observe with our kids, right?
Right.
For instance, when we take them to the park, she brings out a toy, and other people wants to play with them. But she's only child, by the way. She's not going to say, no, you can't play. Only play with this person. She takes the leader in the upper road and be like, okay, well, let's all take turns. So everybody get in the line. Okay, now you go first. Okay, now you go first. And she makes herself last. And that's what I want to see in, that's what I would like to see in all kids. And she's only 4. And when I see those leadership qualifications, of course I have to praise her. Because I'm like, awesome, London, you're being a really good leader. So, it's amazing and it works. I mean, it really works, my child. And I'm not saying she's a perfect child, because there's no such thing as a perfect child. But when you instill impact principles into your child, and, especially at a young age, and influence their everyday life. Even her teachers are telling me, like, I can see the work that you're doing with her for a single mom. Thank you. Like, they're just thanking me. And that's a blessing as well.
And I think really what it is that our youth just needs that kind of guidance. That's it. Once they have an example, someone that they can follow, or someone that they see doing something great, or maybe doing something similar, that right there is a catalyst for their success.
Yep, absolutely. And, it also goes with the mom as well. The mom and the dad.
Tune in to Be Inspired every Wednesday live at 7 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
And we're back. So this is our final segment. We're going to finish off BDSM, and we are going to call it a night. I hope you guys have learned a lot. So during the break, Ing and I were talking about the electric stimulation with a violet wand, and I was telling him how, because he said he was curious about it, something he hasn't tried. I think everybody should try it because it is so controllable. It plugs into the wall, just like anything else. It's probably no bigger than this bottle, and it is like a wand that's purple. Yeah. Like, it's not a violent wand. It's a violet wand. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll do a demonstration at the next conclave when we get together, so that you guys can see a violet wand used in person, because you really can control the intensity.
I think I would enjoy using it more than it being used on me.
Well, see, but you can use it together. Like, that's the whole thing. Like I said, I could hold it in my hand. I feel the electricity running through my body, but then I could just be rubbing your shoulders, and you'll feel the electricity running through my body and out my fingers. Oh, wow. Or, to make it even more stimulating, you pick up a piece of metal, anything, a fork, a knife, a pen, and run that. They have specific tools you can purchase aside from the violet wand. There's a thing that kind of looks like a spur on the back of a cowboy boot. But it's like has a handle to it. Yeah. And use that where you're holding the wand, and then you use that. Or you can put the wand directly skin on skin. Like, you can hold the wand and run it up somebody's. Like, women go nuts. Like, I've done this a million times.
I definitely need to look into this, because I am a sucker. I'm a very dominant person, and my thing is I love to push the limits and make them squirm. I'm loving blindfolding. I'm all about the whole sensory thing.
I think if you blindfold and handcuff a woman to, like, a stool, so she's kind of standing up but she's still leaned over.
A good thing is if you're in a hotel room, they have the coat racks.
Yeah. That's always good.
I've used those.
But so using something like an electric stimulation, almost like a massager, or a vibrator. Like, it works very similarly, and it's really clean. It's glass, so it's cold to the touch. It's always cold, even with the electricity. It's cold to the touch, and it looks kind of cool. So in the dark, it glows this beautiful neon purple color. It looks like one of those things you might wrap around your neck at a 4th of July event. Yeah. But it's really, really cool. I like it to loosen people up. I've used the electric stimulation before flogging. Because there's a certain relaxation that comes from the electric stimulation
that warms you up to the
flogging. Or crop. Using a crop, flogging doesn't hurt as much as a crop does. That single strip.
Because a flogging is kind of spreading it over different points. Crop is one. So, question: when you're doing BDSM, outside of the bedroom, do you also engage? Because like it's also a psychological thing sometimes,
right?
Especially if you have a long term with someone, do you have this kind of master submissive dynamic? Because that's one part that I've really enjoyed. I've been all about this.
There is a big master submissive or master slave,
yeah,
depending on how far it goes. I know some slaves, like I'm friends with some slaves that wear their collar, even in everyday, you know, like they go
I've never gone that far, but I'm very into orgasm denial also. So I'll be the kind of guy that's like, hey, for the next 48 hours, you can't touch yourself.
Yeah.
And
well, I did the opposite. So I put a vibrator on my ex-girlfriend.
I've done that too.
Was attached to my cell phone, and she would be
those
like
are
walking.
wonderful.
She just never knew when I was gonna the fuck out of her ass.
I once did one where I was in a hotel room and I tied her up and I attached, like, it was really handy rope work. I attached a vibrator to her clit, and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna go get some ice, and you can't come. So for the length of time it takes me to go get ice from the ice machine, you just gotta sit there and take it."
There you go.
It blows her mind.
You gotta love it. Wow, I think we will call it a night. We were talking taboo sex X on Salacious Life with Dr. Wren. Thank you so much, Ing, for being a guest.
Thank you for having me. This is the most fun interview I've had so far.
Yeah, you gotta love it. So this is Ing from Manta Ray Records. We got a lot of good things coming up, don't we? We have the album release coming up September. At Reverb, Sully's album release.
Yeah, Sully's album release is dropping in September. That's going to be super fun. And I had a lot of fun working on that record with him.
Absolutely. It's amazing. I've heard it many times. It's amazing. So, guys, I hope to see you all September 9th at Reverb for the album release.
Come party with us. Come be salacious.
Come be salacious at a hip-hop event.
Reverb is a place where you can be salacious.
You can be salacious.
People have done it in the bathrooms and stuff. I've caught them.
Yeah, so I'm glad we clean. Alrighty, well, that's it for tonight. I just want to remind everybody to love life, be brave, and live unapologetically. I will see you next week for Hump Day Discourse on Salacious Life.
Check out this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
Joining us right now is Mr. Antonio Long.